Can we please just not hit Ronald Acuna? Like, is that too much to ask for? Anyways, I'm Caden Sturgis, and this is your Atlanta Braves recap. The Braves took down the Washington Nationals by a score of 9-4 to win their sixth straight game on the season, all against divisional rivals. So their lead in the National League East expands by a game over at least Washington. Let's take a look at the NL East standings as they stand as of time of recording. The Braves are up 5 on the Marlins, who got a win tonight. The Nationals, they're 6 games back. They lost to the Braves. Phillies now 7.5 back, and the Mets continue to lose. They are 8.5 back of Atlanta. 22 games into the season now. Atlanta, of course, with a record, or 23 games into the season. Atlanta, of course, 16-7 on the young year. That is good for second in wins across Major League Baseball. Will be tied with the Dodgers, barring a very monumental comeback by the Colorado Rockies tonight in Denver. Let's talk about it. Acuna got hit twice and had to leave the game. Both of these were not intentional. Like, I'll be the first to admit it. Acuna would admit these weren't intentional. First, just kind of runs up and in and manages to get him on the elbow. Elbow padding doesn't feel good. It's very cold in Washington tonight. But Acuna trots to first. Actually gets picked off at first, which is a whole other discussion to have, that we keep having to have the discussion that Acuna especially is getting caught leaning too much, but it's not an Acuna exclusive problem. So we'll have that discussion later if it keeps poking its ugly head up. But his next time up, and Acuna gets plunked this time on the hand. He has a little bit of protection there. Definitely doesn't feel good. There were maybe 5,000 people at Nationals Park tonight. And, I mean, you could hear Acuna scream or yell out. Maybe yell is the right word. Whenever he got hit in the hand. It hurt a lot. He took his base, and Atlanta punished the reliever that came in relief of Jake Irvin. Jake Irvin did not do this intentionally on Ronald Acuna. However, I absolutely understand why the Braves did what they did. So, moving to the next thing. In retaliation, very clearly intentional, Bryce Elder hits C.J. Abrams right in the butt cheek. Abrams had a really funny reaction where he looks at Baldwin, then he looks at Elder, and he just kind of trots to first, and then him and Olsen don't talk for a second, then Olsen and him are laughing afterwards. But the umpires had to get together, issued warnings for both sides, but both the Nationals broadcast and the Braves broadcast said that was the correct way to go about it. Not intentional on Acuna, an intentional hit on Abrams, but not with intent to injure. Just a warning shot to say, hey, don't throw at my best player, please. Thank you. And that is something that, one of the few negatives of not having pitchers hit anymore, is they don't have to answer for their mistakes. They don't have to climb in to the batter's box and face someone else throwing 100 miles an hour at them. So it does just end up with these star players having to put on a little bit of extra body armor and do it. I think Elder went about it the right way. Hit him in the butt. You can't get hurt by getting hit in the butt. So good on Elder. Good for taking up for Ronald. And I think that that's kind of unique. The Braves have not done a good job of taking up for each other in the last few years, which a lot of that is, yes, Acuna can be dramatic. At times, I get it hurts, but I don't think he's getting hit intentionally majority of the time. But you have to pitch him inside to get him out. That's the only way to get him out historically. So you have to pitch him inside. And there is a case to be made that if you can't pitch inside without hitting somebody, you should not be in the major leagues. But tonight, you hit him twice. That's more than enough. C.J. Abrams wears a fastball, And there you go. That is that. Let's talk about the actual baseball that was played today. And the Nationals, they went up early on Bryce Elder. Just mistakes of his own making. 2 walks, that's been the difference. When Bryce Elder's on, he's not walking people. When he is when he's looking like the Bryce Elder of old, he is wild. He's walking people. And the first 2 runs he gave up tonight, both resulted in runs. He bloated the bases up, and a Jacob Young single scored 2. So Abrams and House were able to score. Elder gets out of it from there. Top of the 4th, Matt Olson homered on a fly ball. This was actually the inning where Acuna got picked off at first, and Baldwin, after his hard-hit single into center field, you really were thinking, well, I wish Acuna was on because it would be first and third with nobody out with Matt Olson up. Would have been an extra run. Does not end up mattering, but Matt Olson ties the game with a towering fly ball to center field. Matteo only hit 1 home run tonight. He just missed another. Got robbed by the right fielder just because the wall is so short. Didn't even have to jump. Just stuck his glove out. Bam. Robbed him at Nationals Park. And just got under another one that also went to the warning track. Matty Olson seeing the ball really well right now. The Nats, Dalen Lyle hit a home run to right to immediately respond for the Nationals. But that was the last real, quote-unquote, earned run. Well, I think an actual earned run that the Nationals got tonight. Then we move to the 6th inning where everything got weird. So this Acuna got hit by a pitch. Yastrzemski, the play before, reached via a throwing error. And I believe that was C.J. Abrams with the throwing error. So not a good night for Abrams in the field, which has been kind of the story of his career so far. Very hot bat. The glove, I don't know if he's a shortstop long term, but the errors he made tonight would not have mattered where he was playing in the diamond. Just bad defensive baseball for C.J. Abrams. So, first and second, nobody out. Drake Baldwin with the double scored both Acuna and Yastrzemski right down the left field line. And that was off of a lefty they brought in to face Baldwin and Olsen. They brought in Poulin, and the Braves absolutely killed P.J. Poulin tonight. They brought him in for Baldwin and Olsen. He got Olsen to pop out. Ozzie, on the other hand, singled into Riley reached. Ozzie singled to left field, and that scored Drake Baldwin. And from there, like I said, the Nationals got several balls to end this to C.J. Abrams or other players. And this was a disaster of their own making. And the Braves kept adding on and punishing those mistakes. They smelt blood in the water, and like a shark, they attacked it. And this is something that's been missing from the Braves ever since the playoff series in 2023. They smell blood, and they are going to finish you off. It only takes them 1 inning. And they've shown that time and time again this year. That if you make a mistake in 1 inning, give them an extra out. Especially what the Nationals did tonight, where they committed, okay, well that's earned runs, not errors. Here we go. If you commit, how many errors do they have? Because there were genuinely too many to count. There's only going to give them 2 errors. So I would have given more. 2 errors, 1 on Abrams, 1 on Nunez. But if you give the Braves more opportunities to give them more than 3 outs in an inning, they will punish you this year. 2026 Braves are not the 25 Atlanta Braves. They're not the 2024 Atlanta Braves. They attack. They're very aggressive, but they also put the ball in play a lot. They force you to make those outs. They're not giving you outs via the strikeout this year. And that goes to show you. I mean, this is an Atlanta lineup. It only struck out 6 times against the Nationals here in 9 innings. So, very good performance. And Atlanta just putting the ball in play and seeing what happens. So, different approach at the plate. not hitting for as much power this year as they have in previous years. And, I mean, this is without Riley getting going. It's without Acuna really getting going. But, I mean, guys like Baldwin, Michael Harris, Matt Olson, really playing well right now. Even, like, Ozzy Albies, Mauricio Dubon had the night off tonight. Dominic Smith, who's all the underlying metrics say that this is for real what he's like now. I mean, they're all hitting. And you're getting this type of offensive performance without Acuna a lot of times because you're putting runners on, you're making the defense make tough plays, and consistently they are not able to always make those plays. You have 2 runners on and a guy in the lineup that can hit a home run. It's as simple as that. And that's what the Braves have been this year. Especially over these last 6 games. They're 6-0 over this stretch. They're outscoring opponents by a wide margin. They have the best run differential in baseball thanks to this stretch. And like I said, they're 5 games up in the National League East, which is by far the largest lead in Major League Baseball. We're going to look ahead to tomorrow's game. So 3 more games left in this series. Ronald Acuna Jr. is day-to-day, so probably going to get the day off tomorrow. But he did not speak to media, but just looking at Twitter, seeing some of the Braves beat reporters, they say that he'll probably be available tomorrow is the sense, but I wouldn't be shocked if Walt Weiss gives him the day off just to see, maybe pinch hits for him, or lets him DH even. Just get him off his feet. Let's see how he's feeling. To be clear, he was going to hit if the inning continued. Yastrzemski was the third out, so he didn't get to bat around twice in the top of the 6th inning. But he was ready to. So maybe that's a good sign. The X-ray is negative, no broken bones. We'll see how swollen it is tomorrow, and that's probably going to be the answer if he plays or not. Tomorrow, probably the best pitching matchup of the series. The Braves rolling out Reynaldo Lopez. He gets an extra day of rest. He's 1-0 on the season with a 2.18 ERA and 19 strikeouts. Foster Griffin for the Nationals, 2-0 on the year, 3.05 ERA, 19 strikeouts. A left-handed pitcher, and the Braves have dominated lefties so far this year. So, should be a good matchup, and we'll see if the Braves can make it 7 in a row against the Nationals. So, but until then, this has been the Atlanta Braves recap. I'm Caden Sturgis, and I hope everyone out there can just have a great night and peace out and chop on.